Hello and welcome in today's classroom. We shall be talking about biodiversity of India. Biodiversity, as you know, is the variety and differences among living organisms from all sources, including terrestrial, marine, and other aquatic ecosystems, and the ecological complexes of which they are a part. Biologists most often define biological diversity or biodiversity as the totality of genes, species, and ecosystems of a region. The biodiversity found on Earth today consists of many millions of distinct biological species, which is the product of nearly 3.5 billion years of evolution. Roughly 1.4 million species are known to science, but because many species are undescribed, an estimated 5 to 50 million species likely exist at present. Almost 8,000 species live on Australia's Great Barrier Reef. No one knows how many species of bacteria live there on Earth, but scientists estimate it is at least 10 million. In short, there are a lot of other organisms sharing this planet with us. Now, let's talk about the levels of biodiversity. Biodiversity exists on Earth in 8 broad realms with 193 biogeographical provinces. Each biogeographical province is composed of ecosystems which are constituted by communities of living species existing in an ecological region. Biological diversity deals with the degree of nature's variety in the biosphere. This variety can be observed at 3 levels: the genetic variability within a species, that is genetic diversity; the variety of species within a community, that is species diversity; the organization of species in an area into distinctive plant and animal communities constitutes ecosystem diversity, that is community and ecosystem diversity. Genetic diversity. It is a level of biodiversity that refers to the total number of genetic characteristics in the genetic makeup of species. It is distinguished from genetic variability, which describes the tendency of genetic characteristics to vary. The amount of genetic variation is the basis of speciation, evolution of new species. It has a key role in the maintenance of diversity at species and community levels. Species diversity. It refers to the variety of species within a region. Species diversity is an index that incorporates the number of species in an area and also their relative abundance. Globally, 14,13,000 species of all organisms are currently known, which include 4,800 Monera, bacteria and other similar forms, 2,48,000 higher plants, 69,000 fungi, 26,900 algae, 7,51,000 insects, 30,800 protozoa, 1,000 viruses, 10,500 reptiles and amphibians, and 2,81,000 other animals. Community and ecosystem diversity. Ecosystem diversity refers to the diversity of a place at the level of ecosystems. This has 3 perspectives: alpha diversity, within community diversity. Alpha diversity refers to the diversity of organisms sharing the same community or habitat. Then is beta diversity. Between 2 community diversity, it refers to the diversity of organisms sharing 2 habitats. Then is gamma diversity. Diversity of the habitat over the total landscape of geographical area is called gamma diversity. Now, the values of biodiversity. Firstly, food. About 80,000 edible plants and about 90% of present-day food crops have been domesticated from wild. Drugs and medicine. About 75% of world's population depends on plants or plant extracts. Then is fuel. Forests have been used since ages for fuel wood. Fossil fuels are also products of biodiversity. Social value. Many of the plants like tulsi, lotus, peepal, etc. are considered holy and sacred. Urban communities generally use the greatest amount of goods and services, which are all indirectly drawn from natural ecosystems. Biological diversity is also essential for preserving ecological processes such as fixing and recycling of nutrients, soil formation, circulation, and cleansing of air and water. Global life support, plant absorb carbon dioxide, give out oxygen, maintaining the water balance within ecosystems. Watershed protection, maintaining stream and river flows throughout the year. Erosion control and local flood reduction. Biodiversity at national level. India is known for its rich heritage of biodiversity. It is one of the 17 mega biodiversity countries of the world and one of the 4 in Asia. With only 2.4% of world's area, India accounts for 7 to 8% of the world's recorded plant and animal species. The country is divided into 12 biogeographical regions. Besides, India is recognized as one of the 8 Wavlovian centers of origin and diversity of crop plants, having more than 300 wild ancestors and close relatives of cultivated plants, which are still evolving under natural conditions. India ranks among the top 10 species-rich nations and shows high endemism. The country is also one of the 12 primary centers of origin of cultivated plants and domesticated animals. About 4,900 species of flowering plants are endemic to the country. It is estimated that 62% of the known amphibian species are endemic to India. Approximately 65% of the total geographical area has been surveyed so far. Based on this, over 46,000 species of plants and 81,000 species of animals have been described by the Botanical Survey of India, established in 1890, and Zoological Survey of India, established in 1916, respectively. According to the 1994 IUCN assessment, India contained 172 or 2.9% of IUCN designated threatened species. These include the Asiatic lion, the Bengal tiger, and the Indian wide-rumped vulture. It's estimated that 18% of plants are endemic to the country and found nowhere else in the world. High endemism has also been recorded for various groups of insects, marine worms, centipedes, mayflies, and freshwater sponges. Apart from the high biodiversity of Indian wild plants and animals, there is also a great diversity of cultivated crops and breeds of domestic livestock. The traditional cultivars included 30,000 to 50,000 varieties of rice and a number of cereals, vegetables, and fruit. India completely houses 4 of the 34 biodiversity hotspots in the world, that is Eastern Himalaya, Western Ghats, Indo-Burma, and Sundaland. The third, Indo-Burma, lies partially within the Indian Northeast region. There is a huge species diversity in all the 3 hotspots, with several of species being endemic to their native range in India. These are the Western Ghats and Sri Lanka, the Eastern Himalaya, Indo-Burma, and Sundaland. The Western Ghats and Sri Lanka. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is one of the 8 hottest hotspots of biological diversity in the world. About 1,500 endemic species of dicotyledonous plants are reported from the Western Ghats. Nearly 235 species of endemic flowering plants are considered endangered. As regards the fauna, as many as 315 species of vertebrates belonging to 22 genera are endemic. These include 12 species of mammals, 13 species of birds, 89 species of reptiles, 87 species of amphibians, and 104 species of fish. There occur 117 species of amphibians in the region, of which 89 species, that is nearly 67%, are endemic. Of the 165 species of reptiles found in Western Ghats, 88 species are endemic. Many of the endemics and other species are listed as threatened and include lion-tailed macaque, Nilgiri langur, Nilgiri tar, Bedom's toad, flying squirrel, and Malabar grey hornbill. The Eastern Himalaya. The Eastern Himalayan hotspot has nearly 163 globally threatened species, including the one-horned rhinoceros, the wild Asian water buffalo, and in all 45 mammals, 50 birds, 17 reptiles, 12 amphibians, 3 invertebrate, and 36 plant species. In the whole of Himalayas, there are an estimated 9,000 plant species, with 3,500 of them being endemic. At least 55 flowering plants are endemic to this area and are recognized as rare. For example, the pitcher plant. Species of several families of Orchidaceae, Zingiberaceae, and Ericaceae abound in the area. The area is also rich in wild relatives of plants of economic significance, that is, rice, banana, citrus, ginger, chili, jute, and sugarcane. The region is regarded as the center of origin and diversification of 5 palms of commercial importance, namely coconut, arecanut, palmyra palm, sugar palm, and wild date palm. The Taxol plant, or Texas vallichiana, is sparsely distributed in the region and has come under red data category due to its overexploitation for extraction of drug effectively used against cancer. As regards faunal diversity, 63% of the genera of land mammals in India are known from this area. During the last 4 decades, 2 new mammals have been discovered from the region, that is golden langur from Assam, Bhutan region, and Namdapha, flying squirrel from Arunachal Pradesh, indicating the species richness of the region. The area is also a rich center of avian diversity. More than 60% of the Indian birds are recorded in the northeast. A few threatened endemic bird species include the Himalayan quail, chair pheasant, western tragopan. Indo-Burma. The hotspot encompasses 33 terrestrial ecoregions. In recent times, 6 species of large mammals have been discovered here. The large antlered muntjac, the Annamite muntjac and grey-shanked dock, the Annamite striped rabbit, the leaf deer, and the saola. This region is home to several primate species such as monkeys, langurs, and gibbons, with populations numbering only in the hundreds. It also houses 520 reptile species, including one-fifth of the world's freshwater turtle species. Almost 1,300 bird species exist in this region, including the threatened white-eared night heron, the gray-crowned crozier, and the orange-necked partridge. It is estimated that there are about 13,500 plant species in the hotspot, with over half of them endemic. Ginger, for example, is native to this region. Sunderland. The Sunderland hotspot lies in Southeast Asia and covers Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Brunei, and Malaysia. In the year 2013, the Sunderland was declared as a World Biosphere Reserve by the United Nations. This region is famous for its rich terrestrial and marine ecosystems. Sunderland is one of the biologically richest hotspots in the world that comprises 25,000 species of vascular plants, of which 15,000 are found only in this region. Endangered species of India. According to the International Union of Conservation of Nature, India accounts for 78% of all recorded species, including over 45,000 species of plants and 91,000 species of animals. But with the rapid loss of biodiversity, many species are becoming extinct or at risk of becoming critically endangered. The top 5 endangered species, flora and fauna in India, are as endangered animal species: the Royal Bengal tiger, the Great Asiatic lion, the snow leopard, Nilgiri thar, Indian rhino. Endangered plant species: ebony tree, Indian mallow, Malabar lily, Assam catkin, yew, milkwort. Need for conservation of biodiversity. Given the importance of biodiversity to humankind, the current pace of extinctions is a serious environmental problem and demands immediate conservation action. For this, we need to integrate the conservation priorities in our models of economic development, what is commonly known as sustainable development. Conservation of biodiversity states the planning and management of biological resources in a way so as to secure their wide use and continuous supply, maintaining their quality, value, and diversity. International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources and World Wildlife Fund are among the leading international organizations concerned with biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity at all its levels, that is genetic, species, and as intact ecosystems, can be best preserved in situ by setting aside an adequate representation of wilderness as protected areas. These should consist of a network of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, with each distinctive ecosystem included in the network. Such a network would preserve the total diversity of life of the region. However, species cannot be protected individually as they are all interdependent on each other. Thus, the whole ecosystem must be protected. Another way of conserving biodiversity is by ex situ conservation, in which plants and animals are conserved by preserving or protecting them away from their natural habitat. This could be in zoological parks and botanical gardens, or through the forestry institutions and agricultural research centers. But natural resources are declining with a faster pace, which is a big concern for the government as well as to the general public. We as humans are reeling under great threat, that is losing precious organisms. Ecologists believe that diversity of organisms is shifting. towards poleward direction due to global warming, which will change whole pattern of biodiversity. Biological resources are being used injudiciously for meager interests, and their conservational threat is hardly taken into consideration. The argument for conservation of biodiversity often emphasizes the need to facilitate continued evolution, as humans are and were part of nature. They benefited from the evolutionary process. And with this, today's lecture comes to its conclusion. Hope that you have understood the content. You will further go for the study and will discover the other aspects of this particular topic and theme. With this, we come to an end, and we shall be meeting in another classroom with another topic. Till then, goodbye and good luck.